Hey everyone, Irix Guy here. I just wanted to do a quick video review of Budget Rent-A-Car. That's budget.com if you're here in the United States, in St. Thomas. So we were going to St. Thomas. We wanted to get a rental car. By default, we went with Budget because we've had a great experience with Budget throughout the years, had no problems. Booked it online, budget.com. Flew down to St. Thomas, walked out of the airplane, walked past the Cruise and Rum stand and got those free shots of Cruise and Rum, and then we were greeted by the long wait line in front of Budget Rent-A-Car. So it wasn't a problem. They had a bar right there. We drank a good rum drink and took our time. But then we noticed people in line were starting to walk away, and we were asking them what's up, and they said, oh, they're out of cars. So we didn't really care because we had booked in advance. We booked I can't remember exactly, but at least 3 weeks or so in advance. Booked it online, had reservation number and all of that. So we finally got up to the windows probably a half hour or so later, and they told us we're out of cars. And I politely said, there's no way. I reserved online. Here's my confirmation number. Well, we're sorry, sir, we're out of cars. And I said, there's no way. I've got a reservation. I reserved it several weeks ago. And they said, we don't have any cars. So then I wanted to speak with the manager, spoke with the manager. Manager couldn't do anything. I politely explained that the service was unacceptable and I was going to escalate this issue within Budget Corporate, which I did, and we'll get to that later. But the end result is that then they said, oh, we're going to close up, because apparently they closed around 5 o'clock or so in St. Thomas. So we were going to be stuck in the airport without transportation. So what do? Well, fortunately, Budget had this shuttle, this big van, and they would take people to their hotel. Well, so we hopped on that, but there was a problem. We weren't staying in a hotel, we had a house. So, no problem, got in the bus. Well, where's your house? We didn't have an address. And that's something you need to be aware of in St. Thomas. Houses don't typically have street addresses, and they go to pick up their mail at the post office. So here we are, outside of the continental United States, had no idea where we were going, in a bus with a driver that we explained geographically where we were on the map. So he started driving that way, but there was no way we were going to find where we were staying. So long story short, we get up there in St. Thomas. It's called Drake's Seat. It's on the other side of the island, kind of up overlooking Maggins Bay and that sort of area. We get there, actually it's before Maggins Bay, but it's on that side. We get there, we pull over, and we call the owner of the place where we were renting. He wasn't available, so we ended up calling his friend, and this guy that we didn't know came and met us at Drake's Seat. Very nice guy. We got in his truck and drove to the apartment, or to the house rather. But the problem is that we had no transportation. So once we were dropped off at that house, we were stuck. So fortunately, he drove us by the supermarket, and we got some Totino's pizza and some chips and some rum and some water, because we didn't know what the next day was going to bring. We were going to go to the house and hang out and eat dinner in the house and go to sleep. I called Budget when I got to the house, opened an escalation within the call center, asked to speak with supervisors, got everything escalated, and I assured them, I said, please call me back. Even if you're calling me back to tell me there's no car available tomorrow, because that's what they had promised me at the Budget rental car in the St. Thomas airport, said, oh, we'll have a car tomorrow. I opened this escalation with Budget Corporate the evening of arrival with the expectation that they would not follow through with that. And it's a good thing I did, because even after opening my escalation with Budget through their toll-free number, even after doing that, I never received a call back from Budget Corporate. I never received a call back from the local Budget place in the airport. The next morning I woke up after checking my voicemail and my email, and I started looking for alternatives. And you can check out my separate review on Discount Car Rental in St. Thomas. Discount Car Rental in St. Thomas is a local operation, and I'll go into that in more detail later. Check out my other video for that, but let's continue with Budget review. So budget rental car St. Thomas, never got a car, never even got a response. And I finally got a response in the mail a few weeks or maybe even a month or so after I returned home from this trip. And they were basically at a high level. The letter was saying, you know, budget, because it's in St. Thomas, it's not part of the budget here in the United States, and they have different laws and regulations and all of this. And my response back was, well, why do they have the same budget sign? You know, if you're going to represent this brand, car rental, budget rent-a-car, whatever you call it, go to budget.com. If you're going to represent that brand, you need to represent it with quality. And this was unacceptable. And unacceptable doesn't even explain the situation enough. So, you know, I respond and I reiterate that. This is unacceptable. Long story short, they said, okay, sir, we understand your frustration. What we're willing to do is, you know, if you can produce your receipt for your other car rental that you used in St. Thomas, we'll reimburse you for the difference. Well, the difference, because the other place I rented from, which was great, they understood my frustration and they were super nice, and it came out, the price of that local operation was only like $3 more than budget rental car. And I'd use a discount code with budget rental car. So the reimbursement for me would have not even been enough to buy a Happy Meal. So I didn't want to do that. So I wrote back. I said, well, you know, how about, you know, I've got some work I've got to do sometime in the near future, and how about you give me a rental car at that place? Well, we're sorry, sir. We can give you, since we're budget in the United States, we can only give you a car rental in the United States. I said, I don't want a car rental in the United States. I've got a car in the United States. I want a car when I go abroad. Well, we're sorry, we can't do anything. So I responded to that. You know, this is unacceptable. Long story short, I finally got a response back. Well, you know, budget United States is willing to give you this on our own. We're going to give you 2 free days of a rental car out of the States. And I'm thinking to myself, 2 free days, that is an unacceptably poor response to this beyond unacceptable service that I received from budget in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So I respectfully declined. I said, you know, this is, in better words than this, the high levels, what I said was, you know, this is unacceptable. I don't even want your 2 free car rental days out of the country. You know, I'm going to use Thrifty going forward. And actually, that's what I'm doing. I'm using Thrifty when I get out of the United States. So, I mean, this has riled me up. And I hope that if you're planning a trip to St. Thomas, I hope that you go down there and have a good time, and you don't have to walk into something like this. And my best advice, based upon my personal experience, is to avoid budget rental car in St. Thomas like the plague. Do not, unless you want to possibly encounter the same problem I did, do not use budget rental car in St. Thomas. But I would recommend, and check out my other video, discount car rental. Check out my other video for the details on that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's youtube.com/IrixGuy. And share this video and any of my videos with others. And also check out all my other St. Thomas videos. I've got a lot of videos that aren't, this was the only less than pleasant experience I had down there. So just wanted to share it too. You know, you got to be across the board. Not everything's good. Y'all have a good day.